Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. If you missed what happened on Friday, if you live under a rock or you're just not too keen to what's happening with AMC lately, well, let's get into all of the recent developments. On top of that, I want to talk about MOASS, no MOASS, when do we MOASS, what do I expect over the next coming weeks here. So I hope you're ready. Buckle up if you're not. Let's get into it. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel before we do so. That is free 99, best way to support the channel, as well as if you want to get yourself free stocks, links down below in the description of this video. Sign up for Webull with $1, get yourself 15 free stocks, throw a couple my way. It's a win-win for everyone involved, especially you. And if you guys want to come join the private trading community, link down below in the description of this video as well. Nonetheless, neither here or there, let's talk AMC. So, court. We all love a good courtroom. Yeah, AMC in the courts. And this is the highly anticipated June 29th, June 30th court date that we got. And it was very anticlimactic. Nothing really happened on face value. Now, according to Judge Morgan T. Zern, she says that they need a little bit more time. There was over 2,800 objections to this court proceeding. Now it looks like there's one objection that we've seen. Now, Morgan T. Zern says that we should allow additional time for more objections to come in, for more people to potentially petition to the court their case on why this reverse split should or should not happen. Essentially, there's not enough time. They haven't had enough time yet. Now, tomorrow is going to be a weird short trading week. So Morgan T. Zern said, don't expect anything to happen next week. Really, nothing's going to be happening. It's the following week in which that's where a final decision could be made. Now, I would be shocked at this point if the status quo order was not lifted and AMC is not allowed to raise capital. I would be honestly completely shocked. The recommendation from the special master. I know I always call it mastery and people are like, it's special master. I know. Right. I would be completely shocked. Special master herself recommended to do this reverse split or to lift the status quo order to let the settlement go through. So, with that in mind, it looks like this proceeding is going to take a little bit longer, but the outcome could be the same, or really will be the same. The AMC Entertainment could boost its equity position by $16 billion. That would be after the reverse stock split. Basically take AMC to $40 per share. AMC was previously authorized to be able to issue 530 million shares. The float would drop 10x. You go down to 50 million shares. You would have essentially, let's go ahead and pull up the calculator real quick. If you had 50 million shares, we'll do, there's about 530 million shares outstanding currently. Minus 50 million. That's about 480,000 shares that could potentially be diluted. Times that by 40, you're at about $19 billion. Right? Or, times it by 30, you're at about what? Or 35, you're at about 16 billion. Right? So this is where they get this number from. Now, obviously, the share price would fall in the meantime, more than likely, and, it would probably not going to come out to 16 billion. But what that is going to do, just billions and billions of dollars of capital being raised, is going to crush the short thesis once and for all. Let me tell you right now, if AMC is able to pay off, let's call it, half of their debt, substantially lower their debt payments, or maybe pay off all of their debt. That would be ideal. And have billions of dollars in the bank. Bankruptcy is no longer a concern, and you will see shorts covering on short positions. Now, I think with AMC, it's a little bit trickier than that. I think there is always a bigger picture going on. Specifically with AMC, there's this factor, this force that I always talk about, at least every 10 videos or so. So maybe not as much as I should, but we'd like to acknowledge this here on this channel. And that is the unquantifiable power of AMC Entertainment, the stock itself. People know about AMC and the short squeeze and the MOASS. Like, this is not your random Joe Schmo stock out there that is running, that might get a couple hundred, couple thousand people trading it and talking about it at any one time. AMC is known by tens of millions of investors. So I think that creates, again, an unquantifiable, meaning we cannot put it into numbers how big this impact could be, potential buying force for AMC stock. When the stock does really start to rally, you could drive in a lot of investors or traders, whatever you want to call it, that trade the stock, that are trying to play an upside move. Now, I think with the reverse split, I think it's safe to say nobody really knows what's going on with AMC right now as far as this court proceeding, as far as all of that. I mean, some people might like to think that, but the vast majority of the markets have no idea what's going on with AMC. Like, not a clue. So, AMC, once it does become $20, $30, $40, $50 per share, whatever the magical number is after the reverse split, probably around $35, $40 per share if I were to imagine. Well, that's going to make a lot of people turn their heads towards AMC. That's going to make a lot of people essentially pay attention to AMC. And we have not seen that in a long time. So I think that's important to kind of point out, that we can't measure what that buying pressure could be. But we do know that it will come to some degree or another. Maybe it's small, maybe it's huge. Maybe everyone downplays it. Who knows? It's the power of momentum, the power of retail, the power of short squeezes, all that are going to be at play here. Now, crushing the short thesis is important, because if there is no short thesis, there is no reason to be short. Shorts then cover on short positions, right? That's the ultimate outcome there. Now, some shorts might be stubborn, right? They might not want to cover initially. They might be forced to cover. They might see substantial losses and be forced to cover on their short positions. Now, speaking of losses, cost to borrow fees are sky high. Cost to borrow max at 1,060%. Cost to borrow average at 782.5%. Cost to borrow minimum sitting at 8.25%. Which the numbers earlier were around, 780%? So the numbers are stupid high here, like unsustainably high. Even Interactive Brokers has cost to borrow fees of over 250% for AMC. These numbers eat away at any potential profit that you might have as a short seller. And it's furthermore a reason to cover on your short position. Now, AMC stock is also on the threshold securities list. And the live short interest of free float sits at 23.52%. You do have an estimated 121.42 million shares that are currently sold short, which these numbers are very good for a potential short squeeze, right? Seeing very high cost to borrow rates, seeing very high short percentage of free float. Not to mention days to cover sitting at 9 days to cover. That's up 60% in the last, 3 months, it said? Let's get that. Yeah, the last 3 months, it's up 60%. That is wild. 18 months ago, days to cover was at about 2.33. It's up 288%. This means that you've seen lower volume than average. It'll take a long time for shorts to get out of short position. So if you do see volume increase and the share price increase, then it's going to be hard for shorts to get out of short positions. They're going to have to buy the stock at higher and higher prices. Now, as far as what you've seen today, as far as the option activity, 77 orders totaling $47.2 million with a positive order value of 5%. Very negative. Now, the last 5 minutes of the trading day today, you actually seen something interesting happen. So, you've seen a couple calls come through, about 4 trades in the last 5 minutes or so. 1 trade the last minute of trading today. You've seen a January 17th, 2025 $1 call worth $105,000 get bought today. A September 15th $2 call worth $123,500 that got bought today. A $1 call worth $327,000 get bought. 5 minutes left to this trading day. And an August 18th $2 call worth $121,000 that also got bought in the last minute of trading. So some pretty bullish bets that you've seen towards the end of the day. Not to mention really the last 30 minutes or so of the trading day. You've seen a July 21st $3 call worth $134,000 get bought. A $1 call worth $335,000. A July 7th $350 call worth $174,000. A August 18th $2 call worth $120,000. August 18th $2 call worth almost $500,000. An August 18th $2 call worth $244,000. And another $1 call worth $345,000. So, the bulls actually stepped into play the last couple of minutes of the trading day today. Possibly could lead to a strong week next week. Now, as far as when I think a potential, MOASS-like event could happen, well, it could be upon the actual ruling from the judge. That is possible. I imagine it happens after the reverse split, after we see whatever negative, downside we could see from that. I think the downside is priced into AMC already. Clearly, the stock has done nothing but go down recently, so I don't expect a big downside move. A 2 to 5% down move is certainly possible after the ruling from the judge. But I think after that, that's where you're going to see the short squeeze forces come into full effect and the stock could rally. It's uncertain when the reverse split's actually going to take place. It could be the week of July 10th. It could be July 21st, that expiration. It could be in August. You really never know. It's kind of up to AMC once the status quo order is lifted. It could happen the next day, right? So we'll see exactly how things play out. But on a risk to reward basis, it makes a whole lot of sense to buy AMC right now. I think you've really de-risked a lot of the position right now. Be it you're potentially buying the stock at $4 per share rather than where it has been at over the past year when it was much higher. So things are looking pretty good. We'll see what happens. Let me know down below in the comment section how you guys feel about all of this information. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel on your way out of this video, as well as check out the link for Webull and the link for the private trading community. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.